Last time on Casino Royale with cheese.
There's been a couple of comments.
You're not supposed to read the comments. That's the thing I heard. Number one thing. Don't read the comments.
I really don't care that much. One person commented PENIPUAN, Penny Pawan.
Okay.
With an ellipses. And then there was another comment that said, your video sucks.
And now, the conclusion.
Houston, we have a problem.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
A boy's best friend is his mother.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Silent breed is people!
Yo, Adrian! I did it! Let's put a smile on that face.
I gotta warn you, Clark. They don't play the same games here as they do at them regular casinos.
Royale, too.
I got a full-on robot chubby.
Live and back at our studios at a Circle K in San Dimas, California is Casino Royale with Cheese, starring your host, who's got a full-on robot chubby, Shane Burns.
Whoa, totally excellent intro, dude.
Thanks, bro.
Today, I'm joined by my totally non-heinous co-host. This is Mark.
What's up, dudes?
What's going on, man?
I think it's kind of funny that in a span of 3 weeks, we were talking about our second Bill and Ted movie.
It is kind of amusing, but I like it. I'm completely down for it.
We totally hijacked the Matrix month and turned it into
We
a Bill and Ted's
did,
month.
yeah. We perverted that into something it was never intended to be, dude. This is Casino Royale with Cheese, by the way, the internet show where we discuss movies that were number one at the box office exactly 20 years ago. This is episode 66, Mike.
What?
It's crazy. Seems like we've been in our 60s for a while, though. So,
It really does feel like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Needs to move faster. But anyway, what's up?
Talking about Bill and Ted's Bonus Journey.
Yeah. Me and you recording on Monday night for the first time in a long time, man.
Yeah, last time we did it, we said we would never do that again.
Right. And here we are. It's probably about this time last year, actually. So,
Yep. But
circumstances,
we had Easter this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We had family in town, so we were quite occupado.
Well, I hope everybody had a good Easter, by the way. Everybody that's listening. If you celebrate Easter, that is. But that being said, we are discussing Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, the follow-up to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Indeed.
So there's that, yeah. You said that it'd been a while since you saw this movie. Is that correct, Mike?
Oh, yeah. Long time.
Do you dare to take a guess at how long, maybe?
What year did this movie come out?
I believe it was 1991, but of all the things that I took a picture of and didn't include that in the summary or anything, so give me just it was July 19th, 1991, actually.
So I probably saw this in late 1991, and so
Right.
18 years ago.
Oh, well, there you go. Once again, this was, back in the day on the network TV, they showed a double feature all the time.
Wait a second. That's 28 years ago.
Yeah. Yep,
Holy shit.
Ago. Yeah, you just made yourself feel old as fuck, dude.
For real, though.
But no, they used to show this all the time at the double feature on the network TV back when I lived in Missouri. And so we watched, I recorded both of these off TV and watched both of them a lot, actually, quite frequently. So,
You want to hear something funny?
what's that?
It was playing on TV this weekend.
Oh, was it?
Like the Vice Network was playing it.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
I, however, watched this full length, uninterrupted on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I found no other source to watch it, so I just put it on YouTube. And was a hope and a prayer. I thought maybe I'd get it in the Rugrats format, where it was like
Right.
7-minute clips.
Just break
Nope.
it up into pieces, yeah.
Yeah, it said 100. It said free with ads,
Huh.
but they didn't play any of the ads.
Well, that's pretty crazy right
Yeah.
there. Somebody fucked up somewhere.
Yeah.
But Mr. Google. Let's see here. Let's go through the quick cast list. See who we've got.
Oh, I already know what's coming.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves. Dude.
No, not that one.
Which one are you talking about?
William Sadler.
Yeah.
Go
He
ahead.
plays
That won't ruin your
the
moment.
Reaper. Well, I love the Grim Reaper in this movie. I think he's hilarious. I will say that I like I think that the Grim Reaper is awesome until he's not awesome, pretty much. But overall, I would say that he's super funny. But no, Death is awesome, and
That's
they
not-
confirmed he's coming back in the next one too.
That wasn't the part I was talking about, though, with William Sadler.
Oh,
He was also in Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
oh yeah. He was a couple, like maybe 3 or 4 episodes. Yeah,
That was your Star Trek connection. You didn't you didn't cash in on it.
Well, they actually, no, I didn't. I didn't know we were making Star Trek connections.
What? You do it every episode. What are you talking about?
Well, I guess that's valid. That is true. We've got Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, as mentioned before, William Sadler, who was in this and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We've got Joss Ackland, plays Chuck Denomalos. And I thought I recognized this dude from somewhere, and as it turns out, I did. He was in Lethal Weapon 2. He was the diplomatic immunity guy. Remember that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. We've got the ever lovely Pam Grier, and she's got it going on in this, just like every other thing.
Pam Grier does Pam Grier well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she kills it. George Carlin, of course, plays Rufus. Slightly smaller role, I want to say. But, I mean, he wasn't in the first one that much either, so it's whatever.
I'm sure he's not a cheap get.
Yeah, exactly. Amy Stotch is back as Missy, and apparently Jim Martin is in this, playing Sir James Martin. So, that's pretty much that.
Who the hell is Sir James Martin?
Well, he was playing Sir James Martin. Remember in the future whenever they called all those rock people out of the phone booth or whatever, and one of them was Jim Martin?
In Faith No More?
Yeah.
So he was playing himself?
Right. But
Awesome.
apparently by this time in the future, the way that history reads, he had been knighted. So, but, which is, they actually got some really good rock cameos in this movie, as opposed to in the first movie, they were trying to see about getting like Eddie Van Halen. And Eddie Van Halen apparently just, I guess he said later on that he would have loved to do it, but nobody ever asked or offered him a bit part or any of that stuff. So, one of those things.
How do you not ask Eddie Van Halen?
Well, yeah, exactly. So they even have a whole big old conversation about Eddie Van Halen right up front in the movie. But whatever. That being the case, let's go through some quick numbers right here. See what we've got. This movie, crap.
Was never number one.
It was made on a budget of $20 million. So the budget has been upped quite a bit from the first movie.
Double the budget, I think.
And it's funny too, because looking at it, this movie obviously has quite a bit more polish than the first one, So
The film itself did, but the sets weren't nearly as good.
well, that's kind of the problem that I had, especially whenever you look at like the beginning of the movie. I like the first movie's depiction of the future way better than I like this movie's depiction of it, you know?
Oh, that's lame.
And that, yeah, they were wearing like foam boots and shit. No, man, give me that 80s crap with that gold thing coming down from the ceiling, you know, and all that shit. I eat that up, you know. I don't
Yeah,
like
their
this.
clothing would have soaked up every drop of water that would have ever touched it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
They've been walking around
nasty.
in giant spongy shoes
Mm-hmm.
and spongy vests. For some reason, everything was made out of that foam.
Right. I don't get it. But that's whatever. Do you dare to guess the number of weeks it was number one and how well it did in the box office, Mike?
It was never a number one.
It never was number one. Correct, sir.
And it made, $197.
197. You're a little bit off this week. No, it made 38,037,000. So I don't know if it made its money back. It opened at number 2, slid down to number 3, and then down to number 10 the third week. So that's not terribly good. That being said, Mike, let's do a summary if you want, or we can talk about anything really. The world is your oyster, sir.
Bear found out there's no Easter Bunny yesterday.
Oh no. Did she? How did she figure that out?
Nicole told her.
Oh, well, way to go.
She said, "Mommy, look, the Easter Bunny brought me a basket." And Nicole said, "No, Mommy did."
Oh my goodness.
We keep it real in the Chandler household.
All right. You're old enough. No more of this bullshit. So, okay.
No, let's get that summary.
Yeah, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, the follow-up to Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, is a sequel that, due to its sillier tone, was disowned by the original's director, Stephen Herrick. As the film opens, we're introduced to a terrorist by the name of Chuck de Nomalos in the year 2891. He, his minions, and his evil robotic Bill and Ted doppelgangers attack the class of one Professor Rufus and steal his time machine. De Nomalos is planning to send his evil robotic Bill and Ted back in time to eliminate the real Bill and Ted, leaving the future to be written however he sees fit. What they didn't plan for, however, was Rufus following them back to the past. Meanwhile, Bill and Ted are doing well. They both have jobs. We see them propose to the princesses from the last film, and they've just won a spot in the local Battle of the Bands competition. The only drawback is that they still suck at guitar. Sorry, I had to scroll down here. Upon arriving in the past, the evil robot Bill and Ted masquerade as the princesses, break up with Bill and Ted, drive the two out to the desert, and throw them off of a cliff, killing both. They are faced with a challenge, however, as the Grim Reaper challenges them to a contest, the trophy being alive again. The two instead attempt to use their ghostly form to spread the word about their misfortune, untimely landing them in hell. After a taste of what eternity in hell might look like, they decide to take the Reaper up on his challenge. The two perform surprisingly well at multiple board games, etc., and the Reaper finally acquiesces, but Bill and Ted insist that they go to heaven first to find someone that can help them defeat their evil robotic counterparts. There they meet Station, an alien duo that quickly begin construction on good robotic versions of Bill and Ted after they arrive on Earth. The four, along with Death, go to the Battle of the Bands, use their robots to kill the evil robots, and free the princesses, who the robots had since kidnapped. After the failure of his robots, de Nomalos soon emerges from a time machine, but Bill and Ted are able to use their time rationalization to defeat him. In a strange turn of events, it is revealed that the coordinator who got them into the Battle of the Bands, Pam Grier, was really Rufus in a disguise? Kinda weird. Bill and Ted soon go into the phone booth time machine, only to instantly emerge with changes to their appearance and with children who they soon introduce as their sons. They briefly discuss how they were really gone for 16 months, practiced hard, married the princesses, and had children with them. They then begin playing as we're treated to newspaper and magazine covers showing their ultimate impact on human civilization. This film stars Johnny Mnemonic and Arjun Rudd. That's the old man's name from The Thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Mike.
Yeah.
What are some of your thoughts on this movie? You said it'd been a while.
Oh, it was like watching it for the first time.
There you go.
I didn't remember shit. The scene where they were the bad robots were taking them up to throw them off the cliff.
Uh-huh.
I kept thinking to myself, like, how are they going to get out of this?
They don't, bro.
I completely forgot that, like, death was a big part of the movie.
Yeah. I do like Death a lot. I think that, like I said, he's pretty great until the station aliens show up. I don't like Station all that much. I think they're pretty annoying.
I almost called you Station on the intro.
Oh, really?
And I felt like that was too low of a blow.
Oh, man.
Even for me.
Oh, yeah. Even Mike, he's sympathetic sometimes.
Sometimes.
But, sometimes. No, yeah, Station's not very cool. I didn't really get the point of, because in the movie, for people that haven't seen it, or it's been a while, like Mike, Station is two shorter aliens, and they, like, charge at each other and turn into this, like, biomorphic blob that grows into a larger combination of the two aliens. So this dude's, like, giant, but what purpose that served, I guess I'm not really sure. So they just show it, and then he, like, separates again off screen, and they never talk about it again. So
Nope.
But we know that death is going to be in the next Bill and Ted movie. A problem that I could foresee, though, is by the end of this movie, now they have wives, now they have sons, now they've got this fucking 2-part alien following them around. And so you're just like, in the next movie, are we going to throw all this shit in there too? Or is it just death? Or are we going to have to, like, spend 20 minutes trying to explain how they got rid of their wives so they could go on this adventure? That sort of thing. So
maybe they'll bring back Billy the Kid in Plato too.
Oh, Socrates?
Socrates, yeah.
Socrates. That'd be cool. I like Socrates. That guy was legit as fuck.
Would you attend Bill and Ted University?
Yeah, they have a really music-centric curriculum there. So, yeah, I'd probably go to that. That sounds like, yeah. The stupid line where he's like, don't do your homework without wearing your headphones. Oh, jeez. Get out of here.
Most importantly.
Right. Yeah, that's super important. The guy that plays Denomalos, that guy plays this role so hammy that I love it. It's almost like a James Bond villain or something. He's fucking great.
I didn't have a problem with the character. I have a problem with his name.
Oh, Denomalos?
Yeah, what the hell is that?
One of the producers, his name is Ed Solomon. So they just switched it around, and it makes Denomalos.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah, believe it or not.
I'm surprised you had an answer for that question.
All right. I love the evil Bill and Ted robots. I think they're hilarious.
Yeah, I really like them.
Yeah.
They're like so obnoxious. It's great.
Usually there's a tendency in movies whenever you have a robot that they have like supreme intelligence. But not these guys. They basically are given a task, like a mission, kill Bill and Ted, that sort of thing. But they are on the same intelligence level as Bill and Ted in real life.
Oh, they're just like Bill and Ted, except for evil.
Stupid as fuck, yeah. But it's hilarious, though, because both Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves, you can tell, are really enjoying playing these two evil robots. And it's really funny to watch. I crack up at this shit, dude.
They're very silly evil robots too.
Right.
Like, let's throw combos all over this room. Yeah, that'll show them.
Right. Like one of them like slam dunks his head, all that weirdo shit.
We're headbangers.
Really dumb.
I thought it was really funny that 5 years after the first movie, they still suck at playing guitar.
Yeah. Well, I think that what's even funnier is they even comment to the fact that, like, the girls, the princesses, actually have a little bit of musical skill, but they still suck, you know?
Yeah.
Which is funny because these instruments weren't around back then. Like, these girls have, like, learned basically from scratch how to play this instrument, and they still can do it better than both Bill and Ted. Yeah.
But girls mature faster.
That is true. Obviously, with because these guys are not mature.
Something else I thought was really funny was the Missy dad swap.
I thought that was really weird, but it was pretty funny though.
Oh, it was so painful watching Bill's dad standing in the corner eating a Twinkie.
Right.
As he watched his super hot ex-wife make out with her new husband.
Feeling bad for himself, yeah.
Yeah. He's just like,
Did you notice in the magazine headlines and stuff like that at the end of the movie it said, Missy to wed Denomalos?
Oh, no. I didn't catch that.
Oh, I hope Missy is in the new movie because those Missy jokes never get old. That shit cracks me
missed
up.
a perfect opportunity, though, when Bill and Ted were running around, like, possessing people.
Uh-huh.
They should.
Yeah.
There should have been at least a quick joke about them fighting over which one gets to possess Missy.
I agree. And then she could banish them to hell right after that. But
right.
Yeah, I'm kind of... Even if they took over during the seance, that would make sense for me. Yeah.
Yeah. You could have the same scene, the whole seance, where they're like, whoa, we're ghosts, and all that stuff. But, like...
a 30-second joke in there.
Yeah, they start, like, pushing back and forth, like, I'm gonna possess her, man. No, I'm gonna possess her, bro. She's your mom.
I'm gonna take a shower, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
And then she sends them to hell, yeah, before they possess her.
Exactly.
They missed a shot there. They did not miss the opportunity to drop that homophobic F slur again.
Yeah. Different joke, same punchline.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I actually kind of like the setup for it, too. It completely works for me until they drop the F-bomb. And then I'm out. You know? Because they're, like, trying to talk themselves out of getting thrown off of this cliff. And so, even though you want to kill us, we love you, you know, and all this shit. Then they run it. So
F, and then throw them off the cliff.
All right, exactly.
Yeah, is it? I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing, obviously, that our culture has evolved to recognize things like that as being negative. But it's so strange that less than my lifetime ago, it was completely acceptable.
Well, this movie doesn't seem all that old to me, really. And so, I think of, like, 10 years ago still being, like, 1990. I'm still, like, my mentality is still stuck in the year 2000. Like, is where time stopped, essentially.
That's true
yeah.
for you, for sure.
Well, yeah. And so it's a deal where I go through and, I think about, so 1991 doesn't really seem like all that terribly long ago for me. And so whenever I hear something that's seems that recent, whenever they do something like that, it is a bit jarring, I will say. So,
But what year were you born in?
84. So
you were 7 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a long time ago, bro.
It was a long time ago. Doesn't seem that long ago, though. So I like the new antenna better on the phone booth than that.
Definitely
coat hanger
upgraded that.
Yeah, that was way better.
The old antenna was an umbrella without the skin.
Yeah, I was going to say made out of coat hanger or something like that. Yeah.
It was the internals of an umbrella.
Mm-hmm. It really was. I like where they were talking about how the princesses were from medieval England. And then Keanu Reeves was like, medieval England, Iowa.
Yeah.
The way it delivers it is so fantastic too, man.
Well, what's funny is, like, it seems like they're trying to keep it secret. That, like, they've time traveled and these girls are from the past. But at their house, they celebrate her happy 521st birthday.
Right.
With a lot of people there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. By the way, that scene's kind of weird to me too, because this Colonel Oates fellow.
Hell yeah.
So these guys already graduated high school. What the fuck is Colonel Oates gonna possibly do to them?
At the Alaska military school?
Well, they're not in school anymore though. So.
That's what I'm saying. He's the head guy of the Alaskan military school.
I know. I would just tell that dude to fuck off. I'd be like, who invited him to this thing anyway? For real. That guy sucks, man.
Yeah, he's not cool. He's so shitty, in fact, that he ends up in hell.
Yeah. Although he has some hilarious dialogue during his portion of hell. It's really funny, dude.
Drop down and give me infinity.
And then he talks about how there are a couple of silky boys. And he talks about how silk comes from the butts of Chinese worms and all this other shit. It's so fucking funny, dude. Oh, Lordy. It's really funny.
That scene in hell is super creepy.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite depictions of hell, actually, in movies, I think. Let's see.
Like with your great aunt trying to get a kiss and a giant Easter bunny chasing you?
Yeah, she has those big old whiskers. The bunny thing was creepier than anything else, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Giving Granny a kiss, that's one thing, but that bunny thing can fuck right off.
What is it about, like, large stuffed animals that freak us out?
I don't know. And, like, the way that they made it jump looked very unnatural. And, like, it had... Like, its face had almost the face of, like, a baby doll or something like that. It was really disconcerting, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I wrote down, I'm not sure if I've ever even been to a Circle K, actually.
Oh, they're all over Oklahoma City down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys have 7-Eleven, too, though.
Yeah. Well,
Whereas
they're
we
all
do
over
not.
California. Like,
Do what? Oh.
they're all over California. I used to stop at a Circle K every day after school.
Oh, really?
It was between the school and my house, and, you know, had to get my Slurpee.
I hear you. I think it's weird that Denomalos like gave out these history books to the kids in the future after he took over their class, and he was like, "This will be the new history. Learn it well," and all this other shit. And then I'm sitting here thinking like, well, if history is going to change from 800 years ago around them, they're probably not going to exist at all. So you really don't need to restudy history.
Yeah, and that's how we know you're not successful, Donomalos.
Right, exactly. It's pretty much a dead giveaway. They play pretty fast and loose with the time travel rules in this anyway.
So what we're talking about loosely is the time traveler's dilemma, where if you go back in time and you killed your grandfather,
yes,
what would happen?
There's different schools of thought. The thought is nowadays is that basically the timeline in which you live in is different from the timeline that you were in. And so basically it wouldn't have any effect on you. But movies play it up different ways. So like say in this instance, if Denomalos goes back and has Bill and Ted killed, essentially, then he's probably dooming his own existence at that point, because he probably is not going to be born in the future with that dramatic of a change having taken place. And so it opens up a big old paradox, basically,
right,
in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you kill your granddad, do you guys both disappear? Or do you disappear after you kill your granddad? Or could you go back in time at all? Because if you went back in time and successfully killed your grandfather, then he could have never had your dad who had you.
Therefore, he never gets killed.
Right.
So, yeah, exactly. It's a conundrum. I don't know. There's one of the schools of thought is that the whole thing is hypothetical anyway, because people are convinced that time travel is bullshit. So,
well, as of right now, I think that's true.
Right.
I've
seen
no evidence
anything to disprove that,
except for, is it Keanu Reeves? Kevin Bacon.
Oh, where he has all those pictures of historical figures.
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, yeah. Yes, sir. Let's real briefly talk more about the hell scene.
Okay.
I love whenever they're talking to the Colonel Oates that's in hell, and he's gonna have him do infinity push-ups and all that. And Alex Winter's talking. He keeps calling him dude. Yes, sir, dude. Yes, dude, sir.
Yes, dude, sir, dude.
Right. It was so funny to me. I think that the whole bit where they're falling down the hole and they will like scream for a while and then stop to catch their breath and then keep screaming. They start playing games with each other and shit while they're falling. Also quite funny. So,
Bugs Bunny did it better.
Well, yeah, that's also true.
He didn't really do it better, but he did it first, you know?
Did it? Yeah, exactly.
He would like stop, like right on a sign and hold it up to the camera. Eat a carrot.
Right.
Lay down like he was taking a nap.
Mm-hmm. Pull the air brake.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing, yeah.
Start screaming again.
Is a Melvin a wedgie? I assume that's what it is.
Apparently.
Yeah. Their breakup with the princesses was hilarious. The evil robots are so funny in that scene, man. Because he's just like mocking her and he's nah like that. He starts like throwing food on himself. It's so stupid. It's hilarious, man. Did you catch the reference to Deacon?
To Deacon.
That's what is it? I guess Bill's little brother, the one that they had watch Napoleon in the first movie.
Oh, okay. What happened to him?
Yeah. Well, so in the movie, whenever there's the whole Easter bunny thing, and he like steals the Easter basket, the bunny hops out and he's like, "You stole Deacon's Easter basket." So little reference there. But that's it. Yeah. So just that house looked creepy. It's all pink and everything's misshapen. It was bizarre.
Bummer.
No way. Anyway, so I don't know. Let's take a look here at the old notes. Heaven looked pretty crazy. I wrote down.
Heaven looked boring as fuck.
It did look super boring, bro. I thought it was weird that there was a payphone in the middle of the Builder's Emporium. That seemed a little strange to me.
Here's what, real quick about the heaven thing that I have a problem with.
Okay.
Everybody was dressed according to their profession.
Right. Like farmers and, yeah.
So did they all die doing their job?
Ooh,
or do you get issued clothing in heaven that you resemble the clothing you wore on Earth based
like
on your
communism,
profession?
So like that's your like heaven picks out a job for you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like there was a boxer walking around and all he was wearing was like his shoes, his trunks, and his gloves.
And his shorts. Yeah, I don't know.
And,
That's pretty
like,
weird.
If that's the case, and if I go to that heaven, they're gonna issue me like some lavender and pink camouflage and boots. And I don't want to wear combat boots for eternity, dude. I'm sorry, I don't.
It's not comfortable.
No.
Those boots do suck after a little while.
You just want to take them off, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, eternity's a long time. I don't blame you. I don't feel like all that much worked in the heaven sequence in general. I didn't like the fact that they beat up those wise dudes.
Yeah, they mugged some dudes to get into heaven.
Yeah, it seems uncharacteristic of them. I get that they, beat up the wise guy, so that they can get in. It's a joke, hardy har. But it does seem out of character because these guys, Bill and Ted, if they're kind of like innocent, they really don't have any ill intentions toward anybody or anything like that. So watching them beat up somebody and take their clothes seems a little strange to me.
And the whole fact that they thought they tricked God.
Right. That whole thing was pretty weird.
Like if there's a real heaven and a real God, just standing and you're standing at the gates, I'm pretty sure he's going to let you in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a wrap. You're good.
If there's any no-go in this, it's the fact that you brought the Grim Reaper with you.
He's going to have to wait outside.
And although the sight gag of him in a dress is pretty funny, he's still carrying his sickle around.
Right. I do like the dress and the big old hat. That was fucking funny.
That's a funny sight gag. I'll give him credit for that. But like, you're not fooling nobody.
Right. No, you're pasty as fuck.
What do you think about what they had to do to get out of hell?
With all the games?
Yeah, Battleship, Clue, Super Bowl, and Twister.
And Twister. I always love that stuff, man. It cracks me up because you hear about these old like Faust tales, or like even Charlie Daniels, like Devil Went Down to Georgia, So whenever Death is offering a challenge to these guys, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And then them playing modern day board games is pretty fucking fantastic, I gotta say.
Yeah. My favorite challenge of all time was the greatest song you've ever heard by Tenacious D.
Oh, the greatest song in the world or whatever it is. Yeah.
But I love that song because like this isn't the song. It doesn't sound anything like this one at all. But it was great.
Right. It is pretty fucking funny. What did you think of the good robot Bill and Ted's?
They're awesome.
I think they look like crap.
They do look like crap, but interesting fact, you can build a robot that looks exactly like that with all the parts you may find in your local Builder's Emporium.
Is that true?
Yeah, no alien technology needed.
Oh, well, that's handy.
First, I'm being sarcastic as fuck, but
of course.
Why did they need this genius from outer space to build this robot if you could just go to Builder's Emporium and get everything you need?
Well, that's kind of what I was wondering about. I had some questions about that. So did they buy an arc welding kit? Because he's in the back of that van, like welding shit together. I don't know. I think that.
And where did they get the money? Did they use Grim Reaper's credit card?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Because they already established they work at this place called Pretzels and Cheese. Yeah. They really don't make any money. So
they work for pretzels and cheese.
Right.
Like that's what their income is, pretzels and cheese.
Right. That's how they got their Battle of the Band spot. So but no, it's not just that, but to me it almost looks like, so they put these robots together with just crap they found, like PVC pipe and a keyboard and fucking flashlight, whatever, these things look like garbage. And then we want to say that the bad robots get their asses kicked by these things, dude. The bad robots
one punch and their heads fly off.
These things look like garbage. They're fucking trash, man.
But they were built by Station.
Oh, yeah, because Station's super fucking cool. So, by the way, I got super tired of hearing everybody say Station all the time in this movie. That was never going to catch on. Everybody said it every 30 seconds. It's exhausting, man. So, just saying. But Primus shows up.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm always down for that.
Primus was the only other band we saw in the Battle of the Bands.
Right, exactly.
I think they called it like Dead Planet or something like that.
Right. I think you're right. Primus would probably win that, though. So.
Yeah.
Question. So at the end of the movie, whenever Denomalos, they go through and they give him, or Death gives him the Melvin this time. And then it shows him and he's like, like
he liked it.
What's the joke there? Does he like wedgies? Nobody likes wedgies. Is it a gay thing? He just wants something up his ass? Or, I mean, are we going to that whole thing of homophobia now? That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know what the joke is.
I think it was just a cheesy opportunity to do something.
Oh, okay. Well, I wouldn't condone it if that is the gay thing, but I honestly have no idea what they're even talking about. So,
I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay. Rufus disguised as Pam Grier.
It was real bizarre.
That's pretty. And he like unzips her like she's a bodysuit or something, and like you can see the Pam Grier skin like laying on the floor behind him.
Yeah, really weird.
What the fuck? What the fuck? That's so weird, man. I don't get it.
And the speech that Denomalos was trying to prevent,
yeah,
literally was, we've traveled all over the world in the past and in the future. The best time is now. The best place is here.
right.
That's what they needed to rule the world.
I don't know, because I have no idea. I don't know if it was their speech that did it, or their music that did it, or a combination of the two. We've also written ourselves into a corner with this whole thing where we've seen what the future had in store for them. So when they go to make a third one, now we've got to try to figure out that whole fiasco too, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, I don't know if it was a speech or what. It was pretty weird.
And the music was like Van Halen-ish licks.
Well, the song at the end, that was Kiss.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Did you notice that the English couple sitting in the kitchen when the music came on, it was William Sadler again?
Yeah. Yeah, he's just sitting there watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. So I wrote down, here's what I wrote down verbatim. There's this weird cut after the collage of newspaper and magazine covers. It shows Mars, then cuts to black, where there's the words Taj Mahal in red letters. What is that? They performed at the Taj Mahal? Because after you go to Mars, the Taj Mahal doesn't seem that cool all of a sudden. But I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
There's some weird shit going on at the end of that. The Grim Reaper rap sucks. I didn't like that.
Oh, that was really cheesy.
Yeah, really stupid. Ultimately, I was going to go over why I think that this movie maybe wasn't super successful. And I think that mostly it boils back down to the fact that like hair bands and stuff like that back in 1991 were not as prevalent as they had been whenever the first Bill and Ted came out. And so we didn't have hair bands as much. And like the whole stupid surfer whatever thing I don't think was as prominent either. So I think that people just didn't identify with this one, perhaps. I'm not sure though.
I think we got Bart Simpson between the first movie and the second movie.
Oh, that changed a lot of shit.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's true or not, but
well,
I feel like it was.
Right. Well, Bart would have came out. I think The Simpsons came out the same year as the first Bill and Ted, actually. So,
like 87.
I want to say 89.
89.
So, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. What did you think of Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Mike?
I thought it was pretty bogus.
Pretty bogus, huh?
Yeah. I had a feeling that when we talked about the Excellent Adventure that you preferred the second over the first.
I actually kind of do, believe it or not.
Only because of the death.
I do love death a lot.
That has to be the only reason.
Hilarious.
Because everything else is like shitty sight gags and a lot of repeats of the same.
Well, so there's some stuff that kind of works for me though. The whole bit where he like possesses his dad that's addressing the cops. I thought that scene was pretty fucking funny. The dad
did an excellent Ted, by the way.
Yeah, the other guy, he sucked, but the dad was really fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
Really funny. I like that. I like the silly stuff where they're playing the games in hell.
With death.
Right, of course. So there you go. The depiction of hell I thought was really cool, but you have to keep in mind too that this movie's way sillier than the first one is. So it's ridiculous at times. That's all I could really advise you of, you know. To me, this one seems like it had more personality, like you were talking about in the first movie, how everything felt like it was consequence free. And I didn't really feel like that in this movie per se. But you kind of wonder too about the consequences themselves, because it's just kind of like they're going from set piece to set piece at the same time. So I don't know.
I do appreciate that the filmmakers attempted to use a different vehicle to move the story.
Right.
That being like how to get back how to be alive again versus time travel.
Right, of course.
So I kind of like that.
Well, and after the first movie, we have to come up with some sort of silly, outlandish thing to occur, and we really don't want to rehash the time travel thing.
Right.
So what else could we possibly do? And I think that they found a pretty good alternative. You know, time travel's the first one, they die in the second one. You know, that's how you can categorize those in your brain if you want. So.
And I do like how they used what you call time travel rationality at the end of this movie again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, we suck. Well, let's just go back in time real quick and practice.
Yeah. Well, and the whole idea of how they defeat Denomalos anyway is you know, pretty much right out of the first movie and all that too. So, but I don't know, man. I like this one a lot, and I think that Death is really entertaining. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of that dude.
He's great.
He is.
He's great. He's definitely the shining star of this movie.
Mm-hmm. I like the. I think a lot of it works, man. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's silly, but.
I mean, again, for me, it's more of a nostalgia thing than it really is anything else. I mean, I watched it, and I didn't think, when is this going to get over, like I have with other movies I watched.
Yeah. That's good, Mike. That's really good.
Thanks, buddy.
Outside of that, would you recommend Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, do you think?
If you haven't seen it, I would.
Yeah?
If you haven't seen it in nearly 30 years like myself, I would recommend it as well.
Yeah. I tend to agree. If you like this sort of thing. My wife, for example, I would not recommend that she watch
Nicole
this.
had zero desire to watch this.
Oh, I'm sure. When she found out what I picked, she was pissed.
She made it through 5 minutes of the last one.
Yeah. You don't think that this one holds up as well as the first one does, though?
I don't know. They're about the same to me.
Because I remember I think we both expected that we would like the first one more than we did. So, it's kind of just whatever, you know.
I will say Death is the best character from both.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. So, this week, since we're recording on Monday, you watched Game of Thrones, I know, last night.
I've watched it twice since our last recording.
Twice. Ooh, There you go.
2 episodes.
So there's that. You watch anything else this week?
We watched Bumblebee again.
Really?
Yeah, we saw that in the movie theater. We watched it again. Can't really think if I've watched anything else in particular.
Yeah?
Nope. Can't think of anything.
Well, I watched some of That 70s Show. But we went through on Saturday night. And did you ever watch the first Happy Death Day movie, Mike?
No.
No?
No, I didn't.
I watched it, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. I ain't gonna lie. So after that, they came out with the second one. We got to watch that. I wasn't super impressed, but it's all right. I mean, it's whatever. It got really good reviews online. However, I went through and watched it, and I didn't think too much of it. So who knows? If you watch it, you might like it. Just to speculate. I also watched some Star Trek, so figure that out.
Of course.
But yeah, not too much going on. Had a birthday in there.
Oh yeah,
that's exciting. Yeah.
Happy birthday again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I had a buddy, one of our buddies from New York came down.
Oh, how did that pan out?
Tony came over yesterday, and we had a good old time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Did he fly or drive? Or
he drove.
Ooh, that's a
He's here for the next
drive.
2 weeks, actually.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, that's good. Mike said that Mike and this dude have been friends for a while, and he likes buttholes. So, there you go. But, no, he really does. So, figure that out. But,
no, he likes to talk about buttholes.
He does, yeah. He does. That's all you really need to know. Anyway, Mike, so we're moving right along, actually, with this 1999 year. I remember not all that long ago bitching because we were trying to get some of this junk knocked out of the way so that we could get to the good stuff. And we're finally starting to get there now, my friend.
Well, we did have The Matrix.
We did have The Matrix. That was a good little appetizer for what we got ahead of us.
What is it? This next episode?
Well, this next episode is one that we've talked about on here before. If you remember back to The Mask of Zorro episode, where we talked about Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Okay.
We talked about a movie on there called Entrapment.
Yes, we did.
Slithers around on the ground and... However old, 15-year-old me lost my mind, so there's that.
40-year-old me still loses my mind. I sat here with bated breath, hoping that's the movie you were getting ready to say.
Yeah, well, it is. So this week, Mike will be losing his mind, apparently. But I'm looking forward to that because I actually haven't seen that movie since, I think, 1999, 2000-ish. So, I guess we'll see how well it holds up. All I remember is everybody talking about whenever she's trying to practice crawling underneath the laser net or whatever, and like she's wearing her yoga pants, and you can see a lot of definition, we'll say.
Oh, Jesus.
And, yeah, so basically that's all I remember from that movie is just because everybody made such a big deal about it, and I saw it and I was like, she's fine. I mean... her butt's fine. Like, her butt's when great. I wasn't losing my mind over it, so I don't know. We'll see how well it holds up this much later. It'll be nice to see Sean Connery in a movie. So, but,
indeed.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Mike? I mean, I feel kind of bad. I feel like we're shortchanging people, but I don't really have much else to say about this here movie.
Well, we set ourselves up for it. We just talked about the first one of these 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, we're talking about a lot of the same stuff we just talked about literally 2 episodes ago. So
yeah. We made a lot of comparisons then, too. So.
Yeah.
Nah, that's whatever. If you have no final thoughts, if anybody else out there has any final thoughts, you can always email them to us. Our email address is cheesymovie@yahoo.com. You can check us out on Facebook, Casino Royale with Cheese, all separate words. You can check us out on iTunes and Instagram and YouTube, Casino Royale W Cheese, all one word, and nobody cares about Twitter. That's that. So, I guess that probably do it for me, my friend. I ain't got much else to add to it. It's Bill and Ted. What can you say?
Totally excellent.
Bring on the third one, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. I'll definitely check it out. Yeah.
We might have to just do an episode as soon as it comes out.
I'm totally down for that. So I don't give a fuck. But
maybe that'll be a bonus episode.
Hey, there you go. Anyway, if you guys want to, you can always join us next week as we chill out with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery with Entrapment. And we will see you next time.
Bye.
I'll be back.